Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Ian, I'm Joseph's dad, and normally I'm that side of the camera, but today I'm standing in for Joseph because he's still doing his exams. In today's video, I'm planning to do some repairs on a trailer which you could probably just about see in the background here. This trailer we bought from auction about 4 years ago. I have a feeling that it was once a road trailer and somebody's put a different axle on it and fitted some horrible timber on it. But it's an interesting trailer. We use it all the time around here, and it has worked very well for us. I actually found a video from when we bought the trailer, and this is a if I get the light out here, there's a much younger Joseph here looking at the trailer in the back of our road trailer, as I say, 4 years ago. So we've been using this trailer around here for moving stuff around. It's been extremely useful, and we've done nothing to it other than repair the odd puncture. We've got a lot of hawthorn hedges, so we're often getting punctures. Though sorting out the problem on this trailer, which I'll come to in a second, is hardly the highest priority. But Joseph pointed out to me last night that we have a tractor show coming up in 2 weeks' time, and this tractor will be going to that tractor show. And the reason that's relevant is because this tractor is the only one that can currently tow this trailer. And the reason for that is this trailer came with a ball hitch, which is here, and I managed to break this ball hitch. Just for my American and Canadian friends, here in the UK, doesn't matter if you have a small trailer or a trailer up to 3,500 kilograms, everything uses a 50mm ball and a 50mm ball hitch, which this is. So this came fitted to this trailer, but I managed to break that probably about a year ago, and in a rush to repair it, I just made up a quick hitch here, which is just a flat piece of steel, and because it only has one piece on it, it will only fit into a hitch of this type, and the only hitch of that type we have is on this 1962 Bolens Ride-a-matic. To complicate matters further, that is not the correct hitch for a 1962 Bolens Ride-a-matic. It should actually have this hitch here, or this type of hitch. So I'm quite keen to do some further work to this hitch, and then it can actually be used on this tractor, and then I can forge ahead with show preparations for this tractor, which, as I say, is in 2 weeks' time. You may have noticed that this trailer is very wet and dripping on the floor, and that was because it started raining about 2 weeks ago in the UK and hasn't really stopped since. Looking at this, I've just stood it up on end, so looking at it, my original plan was to just make a second one of these and fit it on underneath this box section to give us the hitch. And I've got some of this bar, which is what this was made from. So that seemed like a fairly straightforward process. However, looking at this closer, it's actually the bolts here do not go through to the other side. And I'd forgotten about that when I made up that original plate, and that's probably why I made up just one plate beforehand. So we're going to have to get a little bit creative here. I was thinking that maybe drill this one so it goes all the way through and put a spacer on that one, but we'll have to see. But before that, we've got another little challenge, which is this box section is open at both ends, but I've just put a torch at the other end, and you may or may not be able to notice, you can hardly see through that. And what I've just discovered is that some ants have taken residence inside this hitch. So If you just give me a little while, I'll find a very long stick and evict these ants, and then we will have a clear path to be able to undo these bolts and have a look about how we're going to take this forward. I'm back and the ants are still in residence. I found that I couldn't actually get a stick into the end of this box section with these fixings still in place. So what we'll do now is remove those fixings, which should give us access to be able to get to the ants. Anyway, let's take those fixings off. Okay, that was too bad. This one's going to be a bit more difficult because it's actually inside the tube. And I can't get a fixing in there easily. Sorry, a spanner in. Can't get a spanner in there at all. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Just give me a minute and I'll see if I can find out what's going on. I've managed to get that fixing loose. In the end, I had to put a screwdriver down the side between the box section and the nut. And as you can see, the impact has disturbed the wildlife, which is not good. And I don't really want to have a workshop full of ants. So I think what I'll probably do off camera is finish taking that fixing off, which will enable this bar to come off. And then I will probably take it outside and maybe put a hose pipe down there or something else to try and evict our friends, because these are not the pets that I really want to have in the workshop. But anyway, let me do that and I'll come back to you in a second. Sometime later now, the ants are gone. The trailer is a bit wetter and I'm a bit wetter too, but at least they're no longer with us. What I'm going to do now is drill through this second hole here. This one here was slightly deformed, and I guess that was because of the forces of the hitch pushing that up, but I've taken a hammer to that and put that straight. So what I want to do now is drill this right the way through. Now what I'm going to do to start that is use a transfer punch. I'm not sure if you've seen a transfer punch before, but basically they come in a number of different sizes, where the solid bit of this is the size of your hole, and at the end is a pointed bit. So I found the appropriate size for this, and what I'm going to do is roughly make sure it's square. And then we will give it a hit. Okay, and that should have marked the inside of that tube, which I can actually feel. Right, now we'll get some drill bits out and drill that through. I'll probably have to start with a small drill and work up to a larger size. I've drilled all the way through the hitch, although I think my setup is a bit unusual. I do struggle to work on the ground, so what I've done, rightly or wrongly, is I've positioned the trailer on our hydraulic bench, put a level on it so that I know that I'm drilling straight, and drill through here using the drill press. Got the job done. I mean, it took longer to put the trailer on the bench than what it would have done to do it on the ground. However, it's a lot more comfortable. So with that drilled through, the original bolts were 1/2 inch UNC. Obviously we need some longer ones. Imperial or standard bolts are a bit harder to come by in the UK, so I'm going to use some M12 metric, and this is an M12 by 70, which is a little bit too long, but I don't actually have any M12 60s in stock, so we'll use that to go through. And the next job will be to make up the duplicate of the top plate. To make the second plate, I'm going to use a piece of used steel that already has a hole in it. In fact, it has a hole on both ends. However, that hole is not quite in the right place. You may be able to see it's slightly different. However, I don't want to waste material by cutting that piece off and redoing it, so we are going to live with it not being quite straight. So what I'll need to do is line this up like so, and then scribe around the first piece of material. What I'll do is then put a straight edge on that so it'd be easier to cut it. Not sure if you can see that. What I'll do now is I'll cut these pieces with angle grinder, and then we need to put the transfer punch for these holes onto the second plate. I don't have a large transfer punch, so for the big one here, I'm actually drilling it using the other one as a pattern. I've got the two of them clamped together. Put some cutting fluid on there. The belt on this drill needs to be changed because it slips far too easily. There we go. Right, what I'll do now is take this out of the drill and clean the two parts up. I've cleaned up the two parts. I couldn't resist trimming down the longer one of these two as well, so they're both identical to each other now. And I also made up a spacer, which is made out of an old piece of water pipe. In fact, you can tell it's water pipe because it's still got the lime scale inside there because we're from a hard water area. So now it's just a case of setting this up. So I'll put the original where it was, and then we should be able to put this on there. Appreciate this is not the most exciting of videos, but it is a job that needs to be done before I can start on the preparation for our 1962 Bolens Ride-a-matic for shows, because it's no good trying to clean it up and do one or two jobs on it for shows if it's still being used, and this trailer is going to get used quite a lot over the next couple of weeks. So if it can be used on another tractor, it makes life a lot easier. So in theory, I just need to bolt this up now. Try and line this up if I can. Right, and that's the hitch done. I've just had a rummage through the box of random bolts and put that on there to act as a hitch pin. And what you may have noticed is actually a bit higher. I've jacked this up because what I'd like to do is have a look at one of the wheels. We'll take the opportunity while it's off the ground to have a look at one of the wheels and have a look at the bearings, bushings, or whatever it has got. I've never actually taken this apart before. I mean, obviously that's not a good sign. So let's do it together. Let's have a look to see what makes this work. So R-clip washer. Right. Well, I don't see a bushing or bearing in the wheel or on the hub. Okay, let me just clean this up a little bit and we'll have a look to see what we can find. I've cleaned up the axle and the wheel. I've taken the one off the other side as well, and they're both much the same. There is no bushing, there is no bearing, which is not the end of the world for a low-speed trailer like this, but there's quite a significant amount of wear on here. I've just been struggling to set up a light so I can show you what I'm seeing. So if I put a straight edge on the top, you can see there is some wear to that axle on the top. But if I put it on the bottom, that is horrendous. So I need to have a think about what to do to repair that. Obviously it really needs a new axle and maybe some different wheels as well, because this trailer does get used a lot. It did not cost a lot of money to buy this trailer, so at the end of the day this trailer cost less than the value of the tyres, because these are quite useful tyres. They're the same tyres that's on the front of many of our smaller garden tractors. For the moment, what I'm going to do is repack these with grease and put it back together, and then maybe it's a nice little project for Joseph over the summer, but we'll have to see about that. So let me just quickly do that. Got the trailer off the bench and we can now test to see if those efforts were worthwhile. So we've got the 1962 here with the 1961 hitch and the 1962 with its correct hitch. So in theory, we should be able to just put this onto here. Which means it is still usable on that tractor. And then we can even easier connect up to that tractor. Okay. That was a lot of work in order to make that trailer so it could be used on a number of different tractors, but it does now mean that the 1962 Bolens Ride-a-matic is not needed for day-to-day jobs, and I can now have a look at that to see what's actually needed to be done to that tractor for shows. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.